In April 2025, the long-standing tensions between India and Pakistan flared up once again, this time over a resource more vital than oil: water. A militant attack in Kashmir left 26 tourists dead. India, blaming Pakistan-based groups, responded swiftly and decisively by suspending one of the region's most critical peace agreements, the Indus Waters Treaty. This treaty, signed back in 1960 with the help of the World Bank, was a rare success story in South Asian diplomacy. Despite multiple wars, ceasefire violations and political breakdowns, it survived. It laid out clear rules for how water from the 6 major rivers of the Indus Basin would be shared. India received control of the eastern rivers, Sutlej, Beas and Ravi, while Pakistan got the western rivers, Indus, Jhelum and Chenab. But now, for the first time in 65 years, the treaty has been suspended. India claims it is a necessary response to terrorism. Pakistan, on the other hand, calls it a violation of international agreements and a deliberate provocation. So why is this such a big deal? Water is Pakistan's lifeline. Nearly 80% of its irrigated land depends on the Indus River system. Its food security, drinking water and energy production, especially hydroelectricity, are all closely tied to these rivers. Any disruption could trigger a serious humanitarian and economic crisis. India has not yet physically diverted the rivers, but the suspension of information sharing, like river flow data, glacier melt updates and reservoir levels, already puts Pakistan at a strategic disadvantage. This data is crucial for managing flood risks, drought response, and planning agricultural cycles. What adds fuel to the fire is the broader diplomatic fallout. India expelled several Pakistani diplomats, citing national security concerns. Visas were cancelled. Pakistan then responded by closing its airspace to Indian carriers. Indian airlines now must fly longer, more expensive routes over the Arabian Sea and Gulf, adding hours to flight times. Costs are rising and travelers are frustrated. Some estimate ticket prices could jump by up to 12%. Even more concerning, Pakistan has suspended all bilateral agreements, including the 1972 Simla Agreement, which forms the basis of peaceful conflict resolution between the two countries. This essentially removes any official channels of de-escalation. With dialogue off the table, military tensions are free to rise unchecked. Kashmir, as always, remains the epicenter of the conflict. Troop movements have been reported along the line of control. Surveillance flights and artillery shelling have increased. With no water treaty and no diplomatic engagement, even a small border incident could spiral out of control. And here's the most alarming part. Both India and Pakistan are nuclear powers. Together they possess over 300 nuclear warheads. They've fought 3 wars already. Each time, international diplomacy managed to pull them back from the brink. But today, with treaties suspended and leaders talking tough, the situation feels different. The water dispute is not just a bilateral issue, it's a global one. Climate change is already reducing freshwater availability in South Asia. Glacier melt, erratic monsoons, and extreme droughts are becoming more common. Control over water will become even more strategic in the years ahead. The Indus Waters Treaty was one of the few frameworks that ensured stability in this increasingly unstable environment. Now that framework is broken, the international community is urging calm. The United Nations has called for renewed talks. China and the US have both expressed concern, but so far neither side is backing down. Nationalist rhetoric is on the rise in both countries, and public anger is fueling political hardlining. So where do we go from here? Diplomatic pressure must increase. Track 2 diplomacy, quiet, unofficial conversations, may be the only viable path for now. Environmental peace-building initiatives, confidence-building measures, and international mediation could all play a role. But at the end of the day, India and Pakistan must choose between 2 futures, one of cooperation, where they work together to manage scarce water resources, or one of conflict where competition turns deadly and both nations, and possibly the world, pay the price. The hope is still alive, but the clock is ticking. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative, please give it a like and share it with others. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the world's most pressing issues. Stay safe, stay curious, and see you in the next video.